Have you ever mixed oil and water together and found that the oil will always rise to the top and the water will always sink to the bottom? It's a difference in density thing, but I thought I would demonstrate that using cards, because I've made some cards out of oil and some cards out of water. If I combine some oil on the bottom and some water on the top, I found something very interesting happened. If I mix them up, and we get the water will always sink to the bottom, but when I put that water over some oil, because the hydrophobic nature of oil, it will always join back together with all of the other water, and the oil will always join back together with all of the other oil. The oil's attracted to the oil and the water attracted to the water. If I can explore this further and test this a little bit further, just by using more cards, so that we've got a red, and then we've got a black, and then we've got a red, and then we've got a black. And here I can go really, really slowly. I'm not going to be like some other magicians online where they go really, really fast. You can't really see what they're doing because they're frightened that you're going to see the moves that they're doing, because they're on video, of course, and you can always take an easy look at what they're doing. The cards are doing it all for me here. They're made of oil and water, and if I let them settle, the oil cards will always rise to the top, and the water cards will always sink to the bottom. Now, I could have just waved them like I did over there before, so that the oil will attract to the oil and the water attract to the water. What I'm going to be careful of is I don't shake them all up, because that will get them all mixed. But as I said before, I can just hover them over their counterparts on the table, and the oil will attract to the oil and the water will attract to the water. The idea of this is to get the oil to rise above the water and the water to sink below the oil. The way to stop that from happening is to out-jog cards in the mix. So I've got a water in between the oil cards, and I've got an oil in between the water cards. And if I keep those out-jogged, then they will eventually seep through each other, but it'll take a much longer time. As soon as I square them up, though, we end up with a black and a black and a black on top, and on the bottom we have all of those reds. Again, if I give them a big shake, they will all mix together, so that I've got a red and then a black and then a red and then a black and then a red and then another black. All I have to do is take my time and let them settle. And what we should find is that the blacks all rise to the top and the reds all sink to the bottom. If I out-jog them and mix them up, then we know that it's going to take them time to go through each other. But as soon as I put those together and square those up, what we have is the blacks rise to the top and the reds sink to the bottom. And that, my friends, is oil and water cards.